Hey, it's the Bortone. We're back with our video series, and today we're talking with my good friend and colleague, Sharon Sayler. And we go back, oh my gosh, probably over 10 years now, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
at
Uh,
least a decade, if more.
Sharon keeps looking younger, and I keep looking older, so that's totally not fair. But in any case, Sharon has so many different areas of expertise. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about and talk about was because you've done a whole book, obviously, on body language. And when it comes to video and appearing on video, if you have any tips or tricks or things where people get, sometimes like, okay, I'm Italian and I might talk with my hands. Is that bad on video, or should I just, how do you project that on video?
I don't think talking with your hands is bad as long as it doesn't hit your mic. So many times when I'm doing recording people via Zoom or other things, they're very uh, gestures are big and everything, but all of a sudden it'll hit their mic and there'll be this loud noise. So other times they'll be gesturing and rocking back and forth, and they'll have a stationary mic, and they'll go away from the mic. Yeah.
One of the
So
things that I
be
know,
consistent.
I swivel. And it's like, that's not good on video. So, but in terms of, body language and how we're communicating, um, I know it's probably different in person on stage than it is on video, but I mean, are there any things that sort of carry over?
Well, there are a lot of things that
Probably,
carry over.
sit like this on video, but
Right. There are a lot of things that carry over. Smiling, it always carries over. It actually changes the tone of your voice if you smile. So people, even if they're just listening, that maybe you've made it into a podcast as well, which is what I love about video. It's you can make it into so many things.
mhm.
They'll hear that you're smiling. So smiling carries over.
Yeah,
The thing that doesn't carry over is on a stage, even a small stage, you tend to wander left and right, and you can go forward and back. And I don't recommend that at all in video. It's too distracting.
yeah,
The one thing that I say about video is try to have your head about the same size
hmm,
as the person you're talking to. So sometimes you have to move the camera a little bit
yeah,
further away from you or a little bit closer,
yeah.
because nothing's worse than having this massive head cut off at the top and the other person is this little tiny.
It makes a difference. It really does. I mean, aesthetically, especially if you're watching an interview, um, you know, if, like you say, like if it's just like out of whack, it just something doesn't look right aesthetically.
Right. It actually becomes annoying. People then pretty soon begin to like turn it off. It just I know I love these kinds of ones that you're doing right now that are very free form and fun, but they still have to look aesthetically pleasing. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
also try and mirror the other person's body language. If
right.
they're if they're really small gestures, maybe contain your gestures a little bit.
Mhm.
It's you look more in rapport when your gestures are the same.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, and I've been, what, like I watch news and CNN and things like that a lot to see, like, okay, well, when they have four people on screen, how do they do it, and do they all look weird? And it's really interesting to see how they balance that, because now even these big networks are using Zoom and Skype and things like that. They're not going to send a crew to your house. They're gonna say, just jump on Skype and we'll put you on the air. So,
Well, now, if that happens to you, bravo. But the worst thing I see so often is people are doing this. They're
mhm.
like, hi there, I'm calling in from.
Right,
And
right,
it's so unprofessional, regardless of what you're being interviewed for. To really set up the scene. If you don't have a true scene, it's easy just to find a nice, calming background and
yeah,
look professional. Have it
yeah.
your camera at eye length, eye height.
Yeah, I know that the other problem I see is a lot of this kind of,
Yes.
hi, here's my head. And you can see my wall back here. I just have a vinyl, $18 thing from Amazon.com to hide the background. And it's just a backdrop. So
I just have a white wall with a really nice window.
that's
I
fine.
mean, not even a back. I mean, this is just a wall.
I think as long as it's not overly distracting and it doesn't detract from what your message, then you're probably in pretty good shape.
Right. Now, you'll see I have the palm tree off to the side. Nothing's worse than if the palm tree was growing out of my head. So kind of play with the aesthetics there too.
So tell me about, you've done a very ambitious project and I admire your, your persistence and tenacity with it. with the Autoimmune Hour, and tell me how many episodes you've done, how you kind of got into it, and how it all works.
200 plus.
Oh
Now, not all 200 of them are on YouTube, but you helped me create this gorgeous channel. Thank you, Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding Autoimmune on YouTube is just fantastic. We have about 100 shows or positive thoughts up on YouTube now.
Wow.
But I started just audio.
Yeah.
And then that was 4 years ago when I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition. And I'm one of those people that I had to know everything I could about it.
Yeah.
And the more I learned, I said, everybody else needs to know this too.
Right.
So, as you know, you and my other friends call it an irrational passion, but that's the way it goes. But it's just grown amazingly. And if I can share one little thing I learned about branding, this was so interesting. I started thinking, well, I just don't want to do autoimmune. I want to do life interruptions, because to me it was a major life interruption. And the first show was about workplace bullying. Yeah. Man, off the charts. I'm thinking, oh, wow, fantastic. I've hit on a great thought, you know. And then the next few shows just like crickets. And then I had another show that hit really big. But then I realized, well, if you're interested in workplace bullying, you're not really probably going to be interested maybe in conflicts in your interpersonal relationships, or the one that was real crickets was about grief and losing a parent. And then I realized, well, not all life interruptions are the same.
Right.
So I did what was called a special series. So you'll see that it was really first called Life Interrupted Radio. But then I did a special series of 10 shows. And by the third show, I knew I'd found my tribe, my community.
Yep.
Because it's a big topic. We talk about everything from, just did a show on money and, you know, the effects on stress, on trying, how are you going to pay for your health care, to the grief of having, like, okay, my life has just changed, to nutrition. So it's a huge topic. Yeah. But we all have the same common need for knowledge on autoimmune. Huge, huge eye-opening branding thing for me. That's the
common thread that ties it all together.
Yeah.
And then how did you shift from audio to video? Was it just sort of organic, or?
Well, I think my dear friend Lou sort of said, try Zoom. Let's talk via Zoom one time. And so we're talking about, wow, Lou, this looks pretty easy.